The transport Solstice Dawn hung silent above Cairo Prime, its beacon broadcasting distress in a steady, hollow pulse. 1,000 kilometers below, families in the colony city craned their necks toward the sky, whispering prayers or curses. Inside the ship, the Valen purists had drawn curtains of steel across the observation decks, masking their hostages from view. They didn't need images. The message had already spread across every galactic channel. 300 human civilians, bound and terrified, waiting for the outcome of a single ultimatum. Kavar Drak's face filled the screens of 1,000 worlds. His ridged features and deep-set eyes radiated satisfaction. 3 colonies, he declared, his voice steady, practiced. Surrender them to the purists within 48 hours, or the airlock opens and your children taste the void. Humanity grows like a plague. Today, we cure it. The camera shifted. A hostage knelt shaking, with a purist's rifle pressed against his skull. The galaxy watched the execution live. The shot rang. The man crumpled. Silence followed, deliberate, cruel. On Earth, in the vast chamber of the Galactic Council, gasps rippled across rows of alien delegates. A dozen voices cried for negotiation, for compromise, for reason. The feeds replayed on the chamber's domed ceiling, forcing every counselor to see. Admiral Yara Chin did not flinch. She rose from her seat, crisp uniform immaculate, her dark eyes unyielding. "You just witnessed why we will not negotiate," she said, her voice carrying through the translation system. "Every concession funds the next massacre. Every delay means another corpse. Humanity has drawn its line." A Zorti delegate rose in protest, his forearms trembling. "You are younglings in this galaxy. Recklessness will doom not just your people, but all of us." Chin leaned forward. "Recklessness is allowing terror to dictate policy. You may do as you wish. Humanity will do what it must." The chamber erupted in overlapping voices. Pleas, warnings, threats. She let them rage, knowing they weren't the ones who mattered. The man who mattered sat in a secure room 2 levels below, silent, watching the hostage feed for the 3rd time without expression. Commander Rian Holt. He was not the sort who spoke to cameras or drafted speeches. He carried no illusions about diplomacy. When the door slid open and Admiral Chin entered, he simply rose and saluted. "Commander," she said, returning it. "You've seen the situation." "Yes, ma'am." His voice was low, controlled. "Orders? Neutralize the purists. Save the hostages if possible." She paused. No negotiation. For a heartbeat, something flickered behind Holt's eyes, memory, pain, an old wound never mentioned. Then it was gone. "Understood." Chen studied him. "The Council will protest. Some may even try to intervene. Ignore them. Your mission comes first." "Yes, ma'am." The door closed behind her. Holt stood alone for a moment, watching the frozen image of the executed hostage on the wall display. He exhaled once, a controlled release of breath, then tapped his calm. "Hell jumpers. Briefing room. 10 minutes." The squad gathered fast. 10 soldiers in armored exocets, scarred veterans of brushfire wars across the frontier. Their helmets rested on the table, faces grim but alert. Sergeant Vega broke the silence first. "Another hostage crisis, another council debate. When do they ever learn?" "They don't," muttered Corporal Dre. "Council folds every time." Holt's voice cut clean through the room. "Not this time." The chatter stopped. All eyes on him. "Situation is simple. 300 civilians on the Solstice Dawn. Drak has wired the compound on Cairo Prime where he's operating ground side. Jamming fields cover the city. Purists control the transport. Objective: break the siege, neutralize terrorists, secure hostages." Private Imani frowned. "And if he starts spacing people before we reach him?" Holt's jaw tightened. "Then we move faster." Sergeant Vega raised an eyebrow. "Council wants talks, sir?" "They can talk themselves hoarse. We're not here to bargain. One rule: civilians live. Terrorists don't." The room went silent. Each soldier absorbed the words, the finality of them. Not just orders, but a creed. Hours later, in the orbital staging bay, the Helljumpers stood ready. Armor sealed, weapons checked, visors down. Holt inspected each in turn, nodding once. The comms crackled. It was the Council envoy, his voice laced with desperation. "Commander Holt, wait! You must delay! We are opening channels with Drac. A peaceful solution is possible." Holt keyed his mic. "With respect, Counselor, I already saw your peaceful solution." His eyes flicked to the memory of the man shot on the feed. 300 lives. That's what's left. I won't gamble them on speeches. You will destabilize the... "Cut channel," Holt ordered. The comm went dead. The dropship bay doors opened. Beyond, Caro Prime gleamed blue and green, clouds swirling, orbital fires glinting like embers. Vega leaned toward him. "Sir, you think Drac expects us to come?" "He's counting on hesitation," Holt replied. He stepped onto the ramp, voice steady, unyielding. "Let's disappoint him." Engines roared. The gunship detached, plunging into the storm of interference and fire. Clouds tore past, lightning flashing across the canopy. Inside the dropship, silence reigned. Each soldier focused on their weapon, their breath, their heartbeat. Holt's gaze never wavered from the map flickering on his visor. The target compound pulsed red. On galactic broadcasts, the Council still argued. Aliens demanded compromise. Some begged humanity to see reason. The hostage families watched in agony. And through the static of open channels, Holt's voice cut once more, cold and final. "Message to the Valen purists. Humanity does not negotiate with terrorists. We end them." The feed went black. The dropship punched through Caro Prime's clouds, rattling under the weight of jamming fields and flak fire. Warning lights bled across the cockpit. Pilots cursed as they fought the turbulence, hands tight on controls. Commander Rian Holt stood behind them, boots braced against the deck. Through the canopy he saw the colony city below, smoke columns clawing at the sky, fires painting streets in orange. A settlement once meant for agriculture now looked like a battlefield. "Signal still jammed," Vega reported from the comm station. "Local feeds dark. Purists don't want anyone seeing what's happening down there." "They'll see soon enough," Holt replied. His voice carried no bravado, only certainty. The ship bucked again. Dre swore. "Feels like they've mined the damn atmosphere." "Adjust vectors," Holt ordered. "We come in low through the canyon. Land outside the West District." The pilot dipped the nose, engines screaming as the gunship dove into jagged terrain. Missiles flared overhead, fooled by decoys. The ship skimmed treetops, then burst into the outskirts of the colony. From the air, the city was a corpse. Markets burned. Streets were littered with barricades of scavenged metal. Purist banners hung from rooftops, marked with jagged symbols painted in blood red. "Landing zone clear," the pilot barked. The dropship touched down with a violent jolt. Ramp dropped. "Go!" Holt's voice cut through. The Helljumpers spilled out in formation, weapons ready. Boots crunched against broken glass and debris. Holt led from the front, eyes scanning every shadow. A whimper drew his gaze. 2 civilians huddled under a collapsed wall, eyes wide with terror. Holt knelt, motioning silence, then gestured them toward the dropship. The sight hardened his team further. They advanced. At the edge of the city, a purist patrol rounded a corner, 5 armed figures in mismatched armor, rifles raised. Holt dropped into cover and signaled. Vega lobbed a flash drone that exploded in a burst of white. The Helljumpers surged. Gunfire cracked sharp and precise. The fight ended in seconds, 5 purists down, no survivors. Imani spat. "Cowards hiding behind civilians." Holt checked the bodies, expression unreadable. "Send a message. Leave nothing for them to regroup." Vega planted a beacon on the corpses. A warning to any who found them: humanity had arrived. Minutes later, static hissed and Holt's calm voice cut through, rich with mockery. "Commander Holt," Drac purred. "I wondered when Earth's attack dog would show. Bold, charging in so soon. But reckless." Holt tapped his mic. "Drac. Surrender, and the hostages walk free." Laughter echoed. "You don't negotiate, remember? That's your proud declaration. Tell me, what happens when I space 10 more hostages tonight? Will you still sneer behind your helmet?" "Every hostage alive when I reach you walks free," Holt said coldly. "You can decide how many that is." Silence. Then the line cut. Dre exhaled sharply. "He's trying to get in your head, Commander. He already failed." Holt moved forward. The team advanced deeper, weaving through wreckage. They passed burned-out vehicles and walls scrawled with purist slogans. Each block revealed more fear, civilians hiding in basements, watching the soldiers pass with eyes that begged for rescue. Intel led them to a warehouse fortified as a stronghold. Spotters confirmed dozens of purists inside, stockpiling explosives. "Charges on the entrances," Holt ordered. The Helljumpers moved like clockwork. 2 minutes later, the warehouse erupted. Fire roared out as the team stormed in. Automatic fire shredded the air. Holt cut down one, then another, moving with brutal efficiency. Vega's squad cleared the catwalks while Dre disarmed detonators. A shout. "Civilians!" Imani found them, 30 colonists locked in cages, bruised but alive. Keys were taken off dead guards, chains snapped. The freed civilians sobbed as they staggered out. But Holt's eyes narrowed. Too easy. He checked the timers wired to the walls. Secondary charges. Not set to collapse the building, set to stall. "It's a diversion," he realized. "Drac wanted us here." On the opposite side of the galaxy, feeds lit up again. Drac appeared on screens, smug, dragging another hostage forward. His knife pressed against the captive's throat. "You think steel and guns make you strong?" he snarled to the galaxy. "Watch what strength means." The blade slid. Another body fell. The Helljumpers froze, watching through hacked feeds. Holt's fists clenched, but his voice stayed calm. "We stay the course. He wants us rattled." Vega cursed under his breath. "Bastards playing you like a broadcast." "Then we change the channel." Holt strode out of the warehouse. As dusk fell, the team pushed toward the central district, where Drac's compound loomed behind barricades of stolen colony vehicles and sandbagged emplacements. Spotters confirmed hostages held inside, explosives rigged across the perimeter. The streets leading there were a gauntlet. Snipers fired from rooftops. Gunships strafed alleys. Every corner bled resistance. The Helljumpers moved with relentless focus, cover fire, coordinated bursts, precise strikes. Holt directed calmly, never wasting a word. Civilians were shielded behind armored suits, pulled from danger as they advanced. By nightfall, they had cut a path to within blocks of the compound. Exhaustion etched into every soldier's face, but no one spoke of stopping. Holt keyed his calm. "Drac." The purist leader's voice returned, silky and cruel. "Yes, Commander? You're running out of men. And you're running out of time." Drac laughed, the sound like rusted metal. "For every step you take, another hostage bleeds. Let the galaxy watch your failure." Holt's reply was a whisper, deadly calm. "I'm coming for you." He killed the channel. Night settled across Caro Prime, smoke hanging low over shattered streets. The compound loomed ahead, lights glaring, shadows shifting inside. The Helljumpers crouched in ruins, watching, waiting for the moment to strike. Holt studied the defenses, calculating every angle. His visor marked explosives, sniper nests, patrol routes. It was a fortress, but not unbreakable. He raised his rifle, eyes narrowing. Tomorrow the assault would begin. And Kavar Drac would learn exactly what humanity meant when it drew its line. The ruins of Caro Prime lay in silence before dawn. Smoke curled from shattered towers, ash drifting on the wind. In the center of the ruined district, the Purists' compound blazed with floodlights, Barricades of vehicles and steel choked every approach. Hostages were inside, wired with explosives. Commander Rian Holt crouched in the rubble, visor dimmed to avoid detection. His team waited, tense but steady, weapons held ready. Vega whispered, "We hit them head-on, we'll lose people." "We don't hit head-on," Holt replied. His gaze traced patrol routes and defense arcs. Every weakness mattered. "We cut through their perimeter in 3 points, converge at the hostage chamber. Precision only. No wasted fire." Dre checked his scanner. Explosives layered on the outer wall. Triggers linked to biosensors. "They've tied themselves to the detonators. Then we break the link before they know we're inside," Holt said. His tone carried no hesitation, only command. The team nodded. "Orders clear." The Helljumpers moved before sunrise. Drones slipped forward first, silent machines mapping sniper nests. Marksmen fell without warning, clean shots from suppressed rifles. Holt led the push, crossing no man's land under the cover of smoke grenades. Purists opened fire from sandbagged nests. The Helljumpers answered in short, surgical bursts. Each movement was measured, momentum never lost. Vega charged a barricade, breaching with controlled detonation. Imani swept inside, cutting down defenders before alarms could sound. Holt drove forward, rifle steady, every shot deliberate. Through the compound's walls came muffled cries. Civilians. Alive, terrified. Dre's voice crackled in comms. "Commander, I've got eyes on the detonation grid. I'll disarm." "You've got 3 minutes," Holt said. Inside the main chamber, Kavar Drak watched feeds of the firefight. His soldiers died faster than he expected, but he didn't flinch. He turned to the hostages kneeling in rows, their wrists bound, bombs strapped across their chests. Children clutched parents, all eyes fixed on him. "See?" Drak told them, voice smooth. "Your protectors bring only your deaths. Humanity is arrogance given flesh." He activated his calm. "Holt! I see you coming. You can't save them all. Surrender, and I'll spare a handful." Holt's reply was ice. "Every one of them lives. None of you do." "Bravado," Drak sneered. "Let's see how it tastes when their blood paints your armor." Dre's hands flew across the console, sweat streaking his brow inside the helmet. The detonation grid was a nest of alien circuits wired for deadman switches. They linked it to heartbeat sensors. He muttered. "Kill a purist, risk a chain reaction. Find me a workaround," Holt said, covering the doorway. Dre severed a loop, rerouted power, fingers precise as scalpels. "Almost there. Done. Grid isolated. They can't trigger remotely now." "Move," Holt ordered. The squad stormed deeper, clearing corridors lined with propaganda banners. Resistance was fierce, fanatics charging with rifles and blades, chanting purist slogans. Holt's team cut them down with grim efficiency. At the heart of the compound, steel doors loomed. Beyond them, the hostages. "Charges!" Holt whispered. Vega planted breaching packs. The doors blew inward. Smoke cleared. Rows of hostages stared back, wide-eyed, bound in place, bombs strapped across chests. Terror froze them in silence. Drak stood at the center, armored in black plating, a curved blade in one hand, rifle in the other. He smiled as Holt entered. "Here he is. Humanity's savior." "Too late, Commander." Holt leveled his rifle. "Drop the weapons." "You drop yours," Drak countered, stepping closer to the hostages. "Show them what mercy looks like." For a breath, no one moved. Then Holt lowered his rifle. He drew his combat knife instead. "No guns. Just us." Drak's grin widened. "At last, a soldier worthy of the story." He lunged. Steel clashed. Holt parried the blade with armored forearm, slashing upward. Sparks flew as steel met alloy. Drak pressed forward, blows fast and savage. Holt absorbed the strikes, answering with brutal precision. Around them, the Helljumpers covered the hostages while Dre worked to disable bomb triggers. Fingers tore through wiring, seconds ticking down. Drax's strikes grew wild, fueled by rage. You think you can kill Terror, Holt? It's an idea. It survives you. Holt drove his knife into Drax's side, twisting hard. Not tonight. Drax staggered, snarling, and swung again. Holt caught the blade, forcing it down, then slammed his own into Drax's chest. Armor cracked. The Purist leader gasped, eyes wide, breath rattling. Message to the galaxy, Holt whispered. He drove the blade home. Drax collapsed, lifeless. Commander! Dre shouted. Bombs disarmed. Hostages clear. Relief broke across the chamber. Shackles snapped, children sobbed into parents' arms. Survivors clung to soldiers, voices trembling thanks. Holt pulled his knife free, wiping it clean, his face unreadable. He scanned the chamber, counting hostages, confirming every life. Only then did he nod. Evac in 5, he ordered. The Helljumpers herded civilians out into the dawn. Dropships descended, floodlights cutting through smoke. For the first time in days, Caro Prime's sky carried something other than fear. Hours later, the galaxy watched new feeds. Not Drax broadcasts, human ones. Survivors walked free, guided by armored soldiers. Children waved through tears. Behind them, the Purist compound lay in ruins. At a press podium on Caro Prime, Admiral Chen faced the Council's questions. You acted without authorization, an alien delegate accused. You escalated violence. Chen's reply was calm, final. No. We ended it. Humanity does not bargain with terror. We will never pay tribute to violence. Today proved it. Whispers spread across the chamber. Some voices trembled with fear. Others quietly with respect. On Caro Prime's scorched streets, Holt stood apart from the celebrations. His armor bore scars, his body bruises, but his gaze was steady. Vega approached, helmet under his arm. We did it, Commander. 300 lives. Not one lost. Holt nodded once. Good. Let the galaxy remember. He looked at the horizon where smoke met dawn. His words were quiet, carried only to his team but destined for history. Humans don't negotiate with terrorists. We end them.